Hi, my name is Rapp. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts in the United States. I had been sick with chronic Lyme disease for 13 years. I was bitten when I was 11, now 24. I had gone through Western medicine as if I was in a revolving door, antibiotic after antibiotic, without any collaborative type of medicine being accepted, and I had finally come to the point where I said, this is my body, it's my prerogative to do what I want to do with my body, because I dwindled down to the point where I had two options. One was to go on hospice drugs, the other was to come to St. Georg Klinik, which I found out about through the Dean Center when the Dows's lovely family came to lecture there. And I went with my gut and came to St. Georg, and after 3 weeks of full treatment here, I feel like I've entered the life I was meant to live. And throughout the process, treatment after treatment, I felt like I was taking one step at a time into my new life, and a life of lightness and of joy and of being able to just follow my passions. And I have discovered that my calling has really been to advocate for people who are stuck in a stalemate of going through just Western medicine without the integral parts of adding the best practices of all different types of medicine. And I would like to be able to educate and spread the word about hypothermia and how wonderful St. Georg Klinik has been to me and to my life, to my new life. So thank you to St. Georg Klinik. So my first hypothermia, full body hypothermia treatment was rough for me going into, because I had come from 6 weeks of other hospitals and arrived at St. Georg Klinik in a wheelchair, unable to walk. And I went into my first full body hyperthermia, and of course, you know, I herped very intensively for the first 2 to 3 days. The third day I turned the corner and I was able to go to Salzburg and walk without my wheelchair for the first time, which was very exciting. And it gave me a glimpse of what my new life would feel like. So I was that much more excited to go on to the second round of hypothermia, even though the Herxheimer reaction was to be expected. But I was more afraid of waking up tomorrow feeling worse than I felt the day before, and so on and so forth for the rest of my life, than I was of getting the treatment and feeling the full herpes all at once, and then getting my life given to me in an instant once I got through the herpes. And the detox programs were with the foot bath and the blue light treatment and the electromagnetic treatments definitely helped me detox. I felt like I was treated like a one-of-a-kind patient with precision medicine, where not all patients are the same, not all patients will react the same, and not all patients will be treated the same. And that was very comforting, to be in a hospital that really felt like a home, and you could really rely on not just world-class doctors that you were if you go through the experience, you will be honored to be in their presence, but the nurses as well really invest their kindness and their heart into helping you get better. And I think that is a key point to getting better, is to have everyone behind you on your team rooting for you and listening to you, listening to your body, and making the choices of where your protocol is going according to how you are reacting and you are feeling. And after 3 weeks, I feel that each of my treatments added up into 1 foot at a time of leading me to a life where I can live in a world that feels like freedom to me that I had never known. I had never remembered health after being a professional dancer with Boston Ballet beforehand. And also I did localized hyperthermia on my head and my spine, and that very much helped the clarity of with my cognitive brain fog and with my word recall issues, with my sentence structure problems, were all of the neurological Lyme symptoms that are so classic for so many. And it as well definitely helped the spinal pain I was having. And I really didn't suffer from any Herxheimer reaction after that. I got a boost from it. And finally, when I went through the blood cleansing, the apheresis, where your blood is cleansed, I felt like a clean slate to start my life on, where I didn't have a history of 13 years of illness, and I'm given the chance to start my life fresh again. One thing that really stuck out to me and struck a chord about the St. George Clinic was that for the first time in my life, I was able to relinquish all of my fears and 100% give trust in each and every one of the doctors that worked on me. I fully trusted them for the first time in my life of trusting doctors, and the doctors here have made me have a sense of belief in the medical field for the first time since I first became sick. And I think that's really special about St. George Clinic, and knowing the big boss upstairs, Dr. Dow's, was always watching over me, made me feel extremely comfortable, extremely safe, extremely taken care of. And it was a pure reflection through each and every one of the doctors that knew my case like the back of their hands, and I could trust them if they recommended doing one thing, another thing, whatever they thought was best, I went with, and they did make the best decisions. And that's something that was very, very, very moving to me, because I've never, since being misdiagnosed, untreated, and so on and so forth, it was very revitalizing and refreshing to find a group of doctors all working together, knowing my story individually, yet being on the same page about the best treatments, the best combination, the best sequence of how they would treat me. And I didn't feel like I had to go in like with my fists up or with a shield up. I could really relinquish my trust to them, and I truly thank Dr. Dow's and his team and the entire Dow's family for the help that they've given me. And the life that they've given me. And I hope that all Lyme patients, all patients that could benefit from this treatment and have the chance to fully immerse themselves into this program can have the outcome that I had and find their light and their new life to enjoy. So finally, I would like to give the Dowse family a very, very huge and enormous thank you, and so much more for helping me in my journey and bringing me to the place in life that I knew I deserved a standard of life of such, but I couldn't find the vehicle to get there. And St. George Klinik and the Dowse family was the vehicle to get me to the standard of living that I feel I deserve and all humans deserve. And I'm so grateful for so. Through my journey, once I had found out about the St. George Klinik through the Dean Center when Dr. Dowse and his family came to lecture, after meeting and hearing about the St. George Klinik and all that it had to offer to me, it dwindled down to a point in my disease process where my dream team of American doctors would only say to me in my appointments, at functions, on phone, wherever I communicated with them, each and every one of them would say to me, "Are you going to Germany yet? Did you find a way? I have nothing to say until you get to St. George Klinik." And they were right on the money. And I'd like to thank my doctors. I'd like to thank the Dean Center and the Dowses for making the connection to educate patients like myself to find a way to get to Germany and be treated. And now people like myself go home and find a way to get the Dowses' magical treatment back to the United States to benefit all other patients like myself.